Omo, I'm a pastor's child. Yeah. My name is Ruel. This is my vlog. This is Ruel. So if you are a consistent person here, thank you for always coming back. And if you're new to my channel, you can join the gang by clicking on the red button down there to subscribe so you can become part of the gang. It's easy to ignore everybody that's making it on Instagram or Twitter, social media last, but you cannot ignore the people that have made it in your house, aka your father and your mother. Frankly facing fact, there are some parents that you just feel like you can't beat what they've done. You might be in a situation where your mom is telling you that by the time she was 22, she was already married, and you're 26 and you're not married. You're not even in a relationship. Or where your father is telling you that everybody in the family is brilliant, he had a PhD, his father before him was a lecturer, and you know that even if you graduate well, it's second class lower than you bring back to your house. So you're just like, it seems like as if you can't actually live up to their expectations, but the truth is you actually cannot. And I'm very, very sorry to say it. I know you were probably expecting me to come and motivate you and tell you go where, but it's just what I've seen. You can't. Like I said before, I'm a preacher's kid, and my godmother is also a pastor. Having all these spiritual people around me, I thought that I would naturally be a medium-sized general overseer. That's not what happened. That is not what happened. As a matter of fact, until I was in my 20s, I didn't really understand that I wasn't even getting being a Christian right. I didn't understand things about compromise, about just following God. Something just did not click, and I'm still in the process of actually understanding it. I remember one time recently, I was listening to a sermon, and the pastor asked us to open to the book of Zephaniah, and I blanked out for like 10 seconds because I had forgotten that there was a book of Zephaniah in the Bible. I was like, okay. And I'm supposed to know that, right? Because it comes off like, I'm not a preacher's kid. I applied for law, and of all the courses that they could give me, they decided to give me religion. So when people were studying medicine, history, this, that, I was studying Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, all the isms in the world. And when I went home, I thought, Shebi have given me the green on me. So my dad, who is a pastor, and I got into some sort of debate / argument about, I've forgotten what. I'll just train verses in the air and facts and historical backgrounds and and my dad was just looking at me. Anyway, at the end of the day, I lost the case. I've come to understand that the amount of experience that our parents have is not something that we just get by virtue of the fact that we are related to them. They don't just hold our head and do Hassan. That's not what happens. You actually have to get your own experience. But I have come to some conclusions. First, I think parents unconsciously have this scale of excellence for their children. It's in bits, like different steps. So if, for instance, you feel like your father only thinks that you're successful after you get your PhD, you notice that when you get your BSc, he's already telling everybody that, my son or my daughter is a graduate. And you haven't gotten to the peak yet, but he's already proud of you in bits. And if you really want to frankly face fact, it's like at that point, they somehow give you some freedom because they feel maybe this one will not ruin our life. Maybe this one is getting it right small. Let's allow her breathe. Unconsciously, just how it happens, they just assume that because you managed to get one thing right, then it's possible that you have attained the level of maturity. I have also come to the conclusion that nobody's watching you. As a pastor's child, I was always told everybody's watching you. If you misbehave, everybody's watching you. Now chill, I'm not saying people are not watching you, but I've come to understand something. There are two sets of people. There are like outsiders, and then there's family, of course. Now, people outside are always up in your business. They always want to know if you're actually in school, always want to ask your parents what you're doing, what you're now doing in life, if you have a job. That's their job. But the thing is, if you make it right, if you get it right, or you make any mistake, no matter what happens with you, people outside will only talk about it for 3 days at most. I know that they will make reference to it after another, but your gist cannot be so sweet to the point that they will make it their daily talk. It's just how life works. Your family members, on the other hand, to a very large extent, give you a very long rope. So they actually do care about you and they want to see you succeed. So whatever they are doing for you, whatever way that they are watching you, is to see how well you can pass, not how well you can fail. So the people that care do not matter, and the people that matter do not actually care about the mess ups that you do. In this my generation, people, me and you, our gang, we are very, very impatient people. We are very impatient people. That's why you see that by the time somebody is 22, 21, or when you're done with school, you're already thinking about how to move out immediately and all that stuff. And when you see that somebody, of course, posted that they just bought their house at 22, 23, you don't know what process they've gone through, you don't know how long they've been saving, you don't know anything, you just feel, oh, more, this is the way. And before you know it, you start to see your parents as the enemy. I'm not making this video as somebody that's always been a good child or always followed the rules. As a matter of fact, I know what you should not do, because to a large extent I might have done some of them. Whatever pressure you are getting from your parents will not always be there. It won't always be there. And it is not because they are going to change overnight or they are going to start seeing in a different light. It's simply because they will get tired. It's just how it works. It's magic. It's like magic. In the process of being patient, you have to try not to pretend, because I've come to understand that parents actually know you. It sounds crazy, I know, and it is true that there is no way that a parent can actually know their child as much as their child's friends know them, but they know you. They know things about you that you don't even understand. In the process of living up to expectations, don't make it look like you want to do something that you do not want to do. They can see right through you, and at the end of the day, you end up being unhappy. They'll end up feeling like as if they made you unhappy. Everybody will be unhappy, and that time you'll be satisfied. We're done. Last but not least, Charlie, this is going to be a very, very hard thing to swallow, but sometimes they didn't send you, like your parents did not send you any message to live up to any expectations or to be anything. Or some parents are so chill that even though they know that they made it or they struggled and all that, they actually did all that stress for you. So they just want you to go to school, get a job, get married, take care of yourself, just be happy. All this, Omo, I need to make it, I need to buy 50 cars, I need to do this, I need to do that. They don't care. They sincerely do not care. It is good for you to want to surpass your parents, It is good. But if it was so easy to just decide that at so and so age you make money, at so and so age you do everything, you get everything right, then you would have gotten it right by now. But like I said at first, your parents have had tons of experience that you don't have at this particular age. So just chill, relax. It doesn't mean you should just sit back and allow everything to happen, because nothing happens unless you work hard for it. But in that process of working hard for it, try to make sure that when you are living up to expectations, it's for the right reason. Recently, when they were doing this children tag game, where the children will sit down and then the parent has to choose which one does which thing based on whatever question they ask, and you could actually tell that parents know their children. Okay, so they actually know what you are capable of to a large extent. You might want to wow them, you might want to show them, but they are not the enemy here. They just want to see how far you are going to be. Alright, the overall goal for whatever stress or pressure they are putting you under is to make sure that you are going to be fine, and the stress will not last for long. The minute you get one thing right at first, they are not going to totally leave you, but they just assume that you are going to be fine. That's just it. They just feel you'll be fine. So even if they are still doing background work on your matter, they're not throwing it in your face anymore. In conclusion, you have to understand that living up to expectations is not a competition. It's not. You might end up doing more than they've done. You might end up doing less. But don't for once belittle whatever you've done. Don't belittle your efforts, belittle all the things that you've actually done to get to wherever you are. And if you end up doing the exact same things that your parents did because you want to have the same measure of success that they've had, and you are not getting it right at first, relax. it has nothing to do with getting all their advice from them. Advice works, but you have to still stumble, you have to still learn something by yourself. Be calming down, okay? Eventually you're going to get it right. Everything is going to work out fine. I'm saying this as somebody that still has many doubts about stuff. As long as you're not making conscious efforts to ruin your life, you'll be able to set a record for yourself. A record that you and your parents will be proud of. Last. Thank you for watching my video till the end. My name is Ruel. This is my vlog. This is Ruel. And if you haven't subscribed by now, you can still do that by clicking on the red button down there, and you will become part of the gang. If you have something to say about the video, or if you're somebody that's actually been dealing with living up to expectations and trying to find a balance or something, leave something in the comment section for me. We'll talk about it, we'll gist about it, or even if there's something else that you want to add to the video, we'll talk about it, we'll gist about it. I post videos every week, so I'll see you guys next week. Yeah.